Ready from your side?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Let's start with this. It is John Hunter Eddington Kennedy, right?
Nice.
Is that correct?
That is what it says on my ID.
Then I think we are working well. So, firstly, great show that you did there.
Thanks, man.
Beautiful. First question that I really want to ask you over here is, you rose to prominence in an era where there was a lot of focus on lyric content, whereas I feel like nowadays we're moving away from that. And I think you've wrote for both yourself, you wrote for other people, and I just want to know, between that now, what do you think the difference is between writing for content-wise or writing for, we're just going for what we want, melody?
Wow. So I mean, I love lyrics, so I don't feel like lyrics are disappearing or people are not like, you know what I mean? I don't think people are liking lyrics less. I personally think that lyrics is kind of the thing that gives a song longevity, maybe, because if you're correct, if you want something to hit right now, then you're probably gonna genreify the song, and I mean that will give it like a deadline almost. It will always be of that era, but the lyrics is the thing that I think can propel it further. Like Paul Simon, Bruce Springsteen, yeah, the artists that I love, I feel like their lyrics are kind of timeless, and that's what makes their songs timeless. Trying to think how to answer your question. I don't think there's a thing like bad lyrics.
Yeah.
Like I think it depends on how you sing it, or kind of how the person that's singing it emotes it, you know what I mean? And it depends on what you like. Macarena, not bad lyrics, you know what I mean? It works for the song.
Exactly.
So I don't know if that answers your question.
No,
maybe. Okay.
So if I then have to ask you, so if you're going towards something that you're writing for your own music and your own bands versus something that you're writing for somebody else, does that then change the entire writing process for yourself?
It is a little different, because if we're writing an album, then I would focus on writing, and I mean I would constantly be jotting down shit that I overhear in conversation, or lines from movies, or you know what I mean, just keeping a journal. And I like having a lot of lyrics to work from when we're sitting in the session. When I'm writing for someone else, I actually ask them to keep a diary, and so then I use their words and kind of just make a little story out of it.
Keeping that in like the entire process of what you're writing then?
Yeah, I think it's important for the artist to be able... I love using their own words. Maybe I'll craft it a little different, but I think it makes it easier for them to actually believe what they're singing, you know?
Perfect. So then for somebody whose writing career spans so many years, right? If we
what are you trying to say here, bro?
If we're looking at this and we go off different states of writing, in terms of sobriety. So let's go with sober versus drunk versus high. Which do you think would probably be the one that you relate to the most? Or let's say the ego that you associate with the most?
I am always stoned. So, I mean, I don't think I've written a song sober ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe helps you in certain ways or not?
It's been so long and so many joints, it's hard to tell whether it helps or not. I think maybe initially, look, weed doesn't work for everybody, right? Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't recommend smoking a joint and all of a sudden you're gonna write an amazing song. You might get fucking paranoid and not do anything, you know what I mean? But I love weed. It definitely works well, and I think initially I thought it helped me to think outside of the box. But now I kind of live there, if you know what I mean.
That makes a lot of sense though, and it sounds good. But then staying on that whole process. So if somebody were to start thinking of where they want to go in their writing career, do you think it's better to then stay with what you're good at? So if you believe writing sober is what is best influences you, or you're taking somebody else who is now taking, let's say, 3-4 joints before a song, what do you think? Do you think it's more just sticking to what you're good at?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I don't think you should... I don't think that shit's going to make you a better writer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So The thing about writing is actually just doing it, and I think the hardest thing was to kind of get out of my own way. If you know what I mean, I think you can be kind of hard on yourself if you're writing, because you're so I'm extremely insecure, so it was hard for me to get over playing songs to my bandmates and people.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've done it for so long now, I don't even fucking care about shit like that anymore. So I mean, fuck the drugs. I reckon you should kind of just try and stay out of your own way and let the universe use your brain as a conduit, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I think the last question in relating to songwriting then, it's like, if you're moving with your song, do you think it is more based on having your music written first and then structuring your writing around it? Or do you think it's easier to just come up with the writing and then structuring the music around it?
There is no
set
way of doing it. You're not, yeah, I mean, I can't really think of two songs that happened the same way, you know. At the beginning of Fuck Off, I was still writing on my acoustic guitar and like playing it, but then Johnny's way better at guitaring, so it might be lazy. I'm just like, give me a riff, bro, and I'll write you know what I mean, I'll write over it kind of thing. So for me, if I have to write for someone else, my favorite vibe is send me the track, and I mean, I'll spend like a few hours on it, and then we'll probably have like a main melody and some kind of idea of where it's supposed to go. So I love to feed off of the emotion of the track, but I do think it's important to keep writing even without music. I just think keeping a journal, writing down random ideas, it's surprising how it might feel stupid when you write it down, but then a few months later when you look back on it, it actually fits in that little gap that you have in the gibberish part of your songwriting. Definitely. You know? So, both, I guess.
If it works, it works. But I mean, I feel like so many people nowadays tend to try and compartmentalize both of those issues. So it's like, do I write this way or do I not? But thank you for your opinion on that.
Cool.
The last question we want to ask is, do you think there's any Afrikaans-liedjie out there which is completely underrated, but you think it is a work of art? Something completely undermined for what it is, and here we are soaking to it in bars week after week, but deep down, you know, actually this person put their heart into this and it actually works.
Yeah, I mean, I am a massive Robbie Wessels fan.
Okay.
And people wouldn't necessarily see that for us. But like at Paro's house, if it gets late, Macarena Mambo is pumping on the system, and I think Robbie's a fucking genius.
Fair enough, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Is there a song that you've then written which you feel that people have taken on the whole, it's a little bit undermined, but you know, and we know, that it is probably some of your best work? No exposing.
No, I mean, I don't think there's a song that's a socky treffer, you know what I mean, that people have missed. Well, actually, myself and Fred, we worked with Chris Chameleon. He was a character in a movie called, what the fuck was the movie called? Dinky Magubane was the character in the film. I can't remember what the film was called, but Chris plays like a Afrikaans pop star in it, and they commissioned us to write the songs for them. Okay. And it's like this, it's that fucking doof shit. I'm trying to remember a chorus now or something, but we loved it so much, like the tongue-in-cheek shit, that we recorded a whole album of that shit. And Chris actually dressed up as the character and would play shows at K&K as the character. Okay. You know, not even as Chris Chameleon. And I love that vibe. I'm trying to think what his name was, the character's name, because otherwise you won't be able to go and search it. Fuck. Fani Fouries Lebola. So that's the film.
Definitely check
and
it out.
Yeah, what was his name? But it's shit like, die mooiste oor, en die witste tande. You know, it's absurd shit.
What if those concepts of become who you are.
But we
Become the character.
climbed so deep into it that it's kind of a serious album as well. You know what I mean?
The music kind of follows who the character is.
And Freddie, we went to the Mediterranean with like a Spanish nylon string guitar, and Chris can obviously sing, so that was quite cool. But he sang on purpose, like a, you know what I mean, like that shit. So it was lots of fun and it was amazing. And I don't think anyone listens to it now, but it's good fun.
Definitely. Hunter, thank you so much for your time.
Awesome, man.
I don't know, do I go with Hunter or Eddington from now on?
Hunter's cool.
Okay, we'll go with that. Thank you so much for your time. And I think over these years, we've all come to see what a great songwriter you are.
Oh, man. Thanks.
And
I
even
never
better
really
musician.
know how to deal with that shit, but thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
Lekker, bro. Kick ass.
Thank you so much.